So, when Brand tells me that the most memorable part of this entire show was Becky Lynch spanking Seth Rollins after the main event and having a good joke and laughing, and you know they're going to have amazing making love sessions and back in the hotel room. When Brandon decides that was the most memorable part of the show, that just confirms me that WWE is no longer the competition for AEW. It's NXT should be the competition of AEW. Hey everybody, it's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and I'm here to do a quick Stomping Grounds review. Look, I'm going to be real for you. This show kind of didn't do anything for me. It really didn't. The show, it didn't anger me, but it never made me walk out going, oh, that was exciting. It was just odd. Like, there were some good matches, but then there was some horrible stuff in it, and honestly, this is honestly a show you can honestly just skip. I'm going to really cut down the chase here. I'll talk about the pre-show very quick. Drew Gulak is now the new Cruiserweight Champion. I thought it was a very good match. I don't understand why that was on the main card, especially the time they had. I mean, they got off time early. You could have squeezed in that match. I don't know what the deal with that was. So we have Becky Lynch defeat Lacey Evans for a Raw Women's Championship in a rematch from last month. I thought it was better than the Money in the Bank match. I think we can all agree on that, but it did get sloppy. There were botches in it. Lacey Evans is not a bad performer, I'll say that right now, but I feel like she needs more work. I'm going to be honest with you, she should be one of those females that should be still at NXT. She's the one that could use, like, improvement and stuff like that. She should have stayed at NXT. But Becky Lynch winning with the disarmer. That's about it. I mean, the match wasn't bad. It was definitely way better than Money in the Bank, but it had its problems. So, next, Owen Zane defeated New Day, Big E, Xavier Woods. I thought this was fine for what it was. Near falls and close finishes. Owens and Zay end up winning. That's really it. Thank God they needed a win bad. So that's all I can really say about that match. I mean, it had its moments, it had some high flying near fall moments, but really to me, it didn't do anything for me. It was just like, okay, a tag team match I would see like on a SmackDown. Next, Ricochet versus Samoa Joe for the United States Championship. Honestly, I kind of felt let down on this match. I don't know what it was. It's just, I know these two can have a way better match. Not saying this match was bad, but I felt like something was off about it. Like, I was kind of like waiting for it to get higher gear. Like, it felt like it was just started and it ended. I wish they were given more time. Ricochet's the new United States Champion, which I'm kind of surprised. I figured he wouldn't win the title this soon, but he did. So, again, I thought the match was good for what it was. I just kind of wish it was a little bit better. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're going to do Ricochet Joe Extreme Rules. I don't know if they're doing Ricochet and AJ Styles for the United States Championship. Because it looks like they were teasing that during a backstage segment. So we'll have to wait and see. But I thought it was fine for what it was. Nothing amazing, but nothing terrible at all. Next day, Brian Rowan defeated Heavy Machinery. I thought this was a solid match. I thought it was good for what it was. Crowd was behind Brian because they're in his home state. You know, I don't know what it is. I kind of wish this match had more hype to it. I think that was the problem. This match didn't have a whole lot of hype to it. I thought it was a good tag match for what it was, but Brian Rowan ended up retaining, which I kind of figured. They could do a rematch at Extreme Rules. I don't know. But for what it was, again, kind of like the last couple matches, I thought it was fine for what it was. It had its moments. Nothing amazing, but it was just fine for what it was. Okay, it felt like a match I would watch like on a SmackDown or something. Next, Bayley defeated Alexa Bliss for a SmackDown Women's Championship. I'll say major improvement over their feud last year, 2 years ago. I don't know if it was better than their payback match. I thought their payback match was actually pretty good, if I remember. But this match wasn't bad either. I just hate when people like Deluxe Man just completely shit on Alexa Bliss, say like she pretty much can't wrestle. She can. She can wrestle. She's no Ember Moon or Sasha Banks, but she could fucking wrestle. Okay, let's take that out of the window. She can fucking wrestle. She's no Eva Marie. She's no fucking Tori Wilson. No disrespect to her. She can fucking wrestle. I hate the hatred for Alexa Bliss. I can understand maybe getting sick of her being, always in the title picture. That's one thing. But the flat out say she can't wrestle, like she's not a good worker at all, it's fucking insulting. So guys like Deluxe Man, shut up and move on. Seriously, if you don't like her being in the positions that she is, that's one thing. But saying she can't wrestle, you're blind. Because I watched this match and she clearly can wrestle. Like I said, as for the match itself, I thought it was fun. Again, fine for what it was, but it just wasn't anything groundbreaking. Felt like a match I would like watch on TV or a house show match. Next match, Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre. I would say by far way better than their Mania match. Some cool spots in there. I think McIntyre should have won though, but you gotta give Roman Reigns that victory. So you've heard me rant about Roman Reigns. It's come to a point where it's like I don't even care anymore. I've lost the energy to rant on Reigns. It's come to a point where it's like Reigns has just become a cliche. Like why rant on it? So Reigns won, as expected. Who cares? And now apparently overall they're going to do McIntyre Reigns, or McIntyre Shane McMahon versus Reigns tomorrow night Raw 2-on-1 handicap match. Woo. Not getting Reigns. But for what I thought the match was good. But again, nothing really groundbreaking. Nothing like exhilarating. Next match, Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. Honestly, I'm going to be real for you. Besides the ending of this match, I thought this match was fucking boring. I was dozing off half the match. It was just boring. I'm sorry, it was just boring. I couldn't get into it. The crowd wasn't into it a whole lot. Besides the ending, which was kind of cool, we had Ziggler looked like he was about to escape the cage, and then Kofi just jumps right over him and lands on the floor. I thought that was kind of a unique, different ending. I admit that ending was kind of cool, but either as the match itself, it was dull, it was boring, I couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was. It was just something about it that I couldn't really get into it. Again, it felt like something I would watch on TV or maybe a house show, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. It just did nothing for me, being honest. Next, Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal Championship. This match was fucking boring, and the special guest referee was Lacey Evans. Not Brock Lesnar, not Shane McMahon, which thank God they were in it. But no returning Bray Wyatt, it was Lacey Evans. I can literally sum up this match with this. AEW, CM Punk, NXT, boring, this is awful, and Becky Lynch coming to save the day. That was the match. Becky came out, attacked Lacey Evans, and then the ref that screwed Corbin out of the match at Super Showdown returned to count, and he got pinned by Rollins. And Becky and Rollins celebrate because the boyfriend girlfriend, they like to keep acknowledging that on TV now. And when the entire show, Brandon Fall tells me, when Becky was smacking Rollins' ass at the end of the show, and goofing off and smiling. And we both know they're going to make sweet love in a hotel room right after the show. You know that. When Brand tells me that's the highlight of the show, that literally tells me that AEW does not even need to try with WWE at this point. Look, honestly, like I'm not really defeated. I just feel like this was just kind of like a house show part 2. A lot of rematches. I'm not saying the show was bad or anything, but it just... Honestly, it just felt like the show wasn't necessary. I would rather just had this show just canceled completely and then just go for a Super Showdown building up to Extreme Rules and giving more time to build up some of these matches. And that way, hopefully, you could get some new fresh matches on there. That's how I felt about, honestly. The show just felt nothing. I mean, there were some solid, good matches on here, but it wasn't anything like groundbreaking. It wasn't anything like memorable. It just felt like a house show, glorified house show part 2 show. That's what it felt like to me. Just being honest. I know this review was kind of vague, but that's how I honestly feel. That's the brief summary of it. It's just one of those reviews that I don't really feel like reviewing, but it's just like, it's not even like a big old negative thing, but it's not really that big of a positive show. Best I could give is like a C-. At best. It's just, it was one of the shows that I watched, and I left like, that wasn't the worst show I ever seen in my life, but I didn't come out of it, like I earned my time type of thing. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't, how do I say this? It wasn't bad to the point where I road raged, but it wasn't as groundbreaking where I felt like I didn't waste my time. It just felt like a glorified house show. I thought Super Showdown was way worse, so let's get that straight. But this show just felt like another glorified house show. And honestly, this show didn't need to happen. I would rather just got rid of the Super Showdown, got Backlash back, and done brand new matches. And then moved on to the Extreme Rules. Or just have no stomping grounds and just build up to Extreme Rules going forward. That's what I would have done. But that's pretty much your stomping grounds review. It's like a C-. That's probably like a 6.5 out of 10. And that's being generous. Maybe a 6 out of 10. It was just below average. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. It was just a show. That's all it was. It was just like a show. So that's pretty much it. Take care of my peeps. See you guys next time. I can't wait for AEW. I'm going to be real for you. I can't wait for that.